Hey there, friends. Good evening. Meteorologist Shane Smith here. Thursday, January 29th, 2026. And once again, winter weather is about to move back into Kentucky. Let us know where you're joining us from tonight. We're already seeing a little bit of light snow on the radar, and this is just the start. We're going to see um, little bit of accumulation this weekend, especially in far southeast Kentucky. Places that missed out on the last one, hang in there. I think y'all are getting a little comeuppance this weekend. So far, see Dylan Miller checking in from Pikeville on Facebook. Thank you for watching. James Beatty over at Barberville. James, thanks for joining us. Rita Osborne from Corbin. Hi, Aunt Rita. Stephen Little from Prestonsburg joining us. Thank you guys so much for popping in. If you don't mind, hit that like and share button. Helps us out a whole lot to let folks know we are out. Anna Pride More Delight joining us from Lily. Austin Kendrick joining us from Pikeville. Do you think it will snow all weekend, my friend? Not all weekend, Austin, but a decent little snow chance for you guys tomorrow and Saturday up in Pike County. Leslie Harness joining us, and Lloyd Thompson from Harlan. So thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. This is not going to be the big, huge storm, the one that shuts everything down, that causes all the power outages that we had last week. So let's just go ahead and get that out of the way first. If everybody is worried about more power outages, this should be a pretty light snow. It should be a pretty fluffy snow. This is mainly going to be in the higher elevations of southeast Kentucky along the Virginia border. They are going to see the heaviest of it. For most of us, this is not a big deal. It's just a little insult on top of injury. A lot of places, the main roads are in good shape. Side roads, not so much. Well, we're going to put down a coating to an inch in a lot of spots across the bluegrass. So that's just going to make things a little bit worse. See Alberta Williams joining us. Hey, Alberta. Michelle Ratliff joining us from over in Johnson County. Judy Robinson joining us from London. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. The radar is tracking a little light snow this evening. This is the first little band that's going to move in. We don't have just one super big organized system with this one. This one's going to come in a couple little pieces of energy. This is round one. Round two is going to start taking shape down in the Carolinas tomorrow. It heads up the East Coast, forms a huge blizzard. Not going to hit us with blizzard conditions. And then we're going to get some energy coming off the lakes and a lot of cold air behind this system. So not looking at just one big event, but just a couple little smaller pieces of energy adding up over the next 48 hours or so. Excuse me, 48 hours or so. Here's a look at our Kentucky camera network, and you can see a lot of spots still have snow on the ground. They still have that ice on top of it. I know we melted off a fair bit over in Laurel County today, but there's still quite a bit. A lot of the parking lots that weren't treated well are bad. A lot of the secondary roads that weren't treated well are still a little touch and go out there. I know especially up in central Kentucky, I know Lexington, y'all been dealing with just some massive headaches with the secondary roads. So hang in there. There is some warmer weather heading our way next week. So right now, let's talk about the advisories and alerts we have out there. Most of the state under a cold weather advisory for the coming weekend because wind chills could be dropping below zero again. We'll focus a little bit more on that tomorrow. I want to focus a little bit more on the snow aspect of this storm tonight. And you'll notice it's our counties here in purple, excuse me, in southeast Kentucky, where we have a winter weather advisory. This is going to go up until Saturday for most locations. And you'll notice even across the border, into portions of Virginia over around Wise and Buchanan counties. We have winter storm warnings. They're going to see a little bit more snow over in the panhandle of Virginia than we are here in eastern Kentucky. And I think the highest elevations in eastern Kentucky, right along the border with Virginia, from Pike County down through Harlan County and Letcher County into the eastern tip of Bell County. That's where we're going to see the most snow for us this weekend. But any county in purple, pretty much fair game for 1 to 3 inches of snow over the next 48 hours, just enough to get the roads good and slick again, just enough to cause a few travel headaches, especially I think tomorrow evening and Saturday morning. I think that's going to be the biggest impact time frames. We'll say after about 2 or 3 o'clock tomorrow through about noon on Saturday. That's when I think we're going to see the biggest impact from this storm as far as travel is concerned. The all-important snow forecast. Feeling a lot more confident in this one than I was last week, I'll tell you that, friends. This one, the only big question is how far northwest does the big storm off the coast come, and I don't think it's going to get too close to us, although if it did, that could move some of that lines westward, but I don't expect that to happen. For most of the state, we are talking, excuse me, man. Got an itch in the throat, something awful tonight. We're talking 1 to 3 inches of snow, pretty much south of Interstate 64, east of 75, with the exception there into Pulaski County, Wayne, and McCreary counties. That's a 1 to 3 inch in the dark blue. The light teal color, coating to an inch. This is going to be more of a nuisance snow, could slicken things up again, especially considering how cold it's been. Everything will stick. Every flake of snow will stick as we go out the next 48 hours just because of how cold it has been. Hyper Kimberly saying dead on for the ice here last week and the outage. Thank you. I'm glad I was right somewhere. That was a hard forecast. I was not exactly happy with the outcome in some of it, but I feel like the impacts I stressed pretty well, and those did end up coming to fruition. Maybe going live tomorrow, Austin. We will see. We'll see how things are playing out. I'll definitely have updates tomorrow, whether or not I go live or not. So once again, biggest impact from this is going to be down in southeast Kentucky, places like London, Manchester, Hazard, Somerset, Mount Vernon, over into Beattyville, Booneville, over to Jackson, up towards West Liberty, Prestonsburg, Salyersville, Paintsville. Y'all, 1 to 3 inches of fresh snow over the next 48 hours or so. That's what I'm expecting. Down along the Virginia border, we're going to bump that up 3 to 6 inches. So when you get that kind of transition zone there, southern Perry County, southern Leslie County, Leatherwood, Cutchin, back down eastern Bell County there along the Harlan County line, down around Dorton, southern Pike County, southern tip of Floyd County and Knott County, kind of in that 3-inch range, because you notice we're making that jump from 1 to 3 to 3 to 6. So that's where I think that kind of transition band. No ice on this one. Susie Eli is sleeping. He got to bed early tonight. He was definitely tired. Dwayne Russellberg joining us from Buckhorn. Thanks for joining us. Sorry, Susie, don't shoot the messenger. At least no ice this time. This one should be straight snow. Let's map it out. Let's show you how everything plays out. Got the good old North American mesoscale model pulled up. We'll start it off at 11 o'clock tonight and roll it into the future. Actually, I'm going to change that. Audible. We're going to switch up to the new run of the HRRR. I haven't seen this yet, but I want to, so there we go. All right. So here we are, 1 o'clock. Most of the state dry. I think a lot of that, what's on the radar right now, is not hitting the ground. We do have a fair bit of dry air in place at the surface right now, so we are going to have to moisten up the column a little bit before this starts sticking. The HRRR model really starting to show those snow showers breaking out between like 6 o'clock and 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. I think the heaviest will fall tomorrow after lunchtime, especially far southeastern Kentucky. With temperatures low to mid 20s, we're probably going to be looking at about a 15 to 1 snowfall ratio. This should be a little bit more of a fluffier snow. This won't be a heavy wet snow. Here we are at 9 o'clock. You'll notice by this point, most of the snow is confined down into the southeastern part of the state. Apparently, Eli woke up for a second. We go to midnight. London, there may be a little flurry action or light snow still going at that point. Same story in Corbin and Williamsburg. Most of it going to be concentrated from Pikeville down to Dorton, over to Hazard, through Hindman, Whitesburg, Cumberland, Harlan, Hyden, Middlesboro, Pineville. I think that's where we'll be seeing the bulk of the snow as we transition tomorrow night into Saturday morning. And you'll notice those snow showers stick around. And then check out these temperatures. Brr, brr, brr. This is actual air temperature. This is not feels like temperature. So central Kentucky, we're looking at another round of 5 to 10 below. Down here in the south, 5 to 10 degrees. Yeah, and that's without the wind. You factor in the wind, it's going to feel even colder out there. So that we're going to have some pretty brutal wind chills Saturday morning. So once again, if you don't have a source of secondary heat, try to get one. I know everybody is exhausted on supplies just from what we've seen. Now, the HRRR kind of ends. We run out there at 6 o'clock Saturday. I'm going to switch models, go over to the North American Mesoscale model, the NAM. Swap it to the previous run because the OZ is still running. I think we will still see snow lingering into Saturday evening, and we may see a little bit more pickup during the day on Saturday off a pretty strong fetch of wind coming down from the Great Lakes. I think we're going to see a straight northerly coming in, drag some moisture off the lakes. It would not surprise me to see a little lake effect snow action transition to some upslope as we go into Saturday night into Sunday morning. That could put down some additional light accumulation. That could cause some additional slick roadways. So we're not talking just one big burst of snow. We're just talking about several little rounds of snow over the next couple of days. I see Eric just popped in here. Hallelujah, no ice. Amen, brother. I am so done with the ice. It has been the weirdest snow walking on. It's just so crunchy out there. I feel like I'm walking on like a frozen burrito or something. Just, it's weird. Dwayne Russellberg, ready for the warmer weather? I am too, brother. I am too. All right. So let's take a look what some of the various computer models are showing for the snow forecast. That'll kind of clue you in how we got to where I'm at. Uh-oh. Hang on, may have to reload that real quick. Sorry, folks, producing on the fly. Thought that loaded, it did not. There we go. Okay. Here we go. GFS model snow totals through Sunday, 7 o'clock. The only kind of the part that this really disagrees from my forecast is down around Williamsburg. Although I will put the disclaimer out here. GFS has been way overdone the last couple of storms. I have not been leaning heavily on it. The Canadian has been running much more consistently and just frankly running better. It is not aggressive with the snowfall up in central Kentucky. So you'll notice, once again, the highest totals confined to the Virginia border, about 3 to 4 inches. So it's a little bit more conservative. We'll switch it over to the European model. European is pretty heavily what I based my forecast off of. I shaved a little bit off that transition zone from Pikeville to Hazard, but I went pretty heavy on the Euro for my forecast. The Old Nam, a little bit more conservative. The High Res Nam, this one only goes through Saturday 6 a.m. right now. We go to the previous run, take that all the way out. That looks like a fairly realistic, like kind of middle of the road scenario. It's not the high end, not the low end. A general 1 to 3 inches, a little bit more. That seems like a fairly realistic setup in this. Regional Canadian, a little bit similar to that, a little heavier there in the Virginia border counties. So most of the modeling in decent agreement. I mean, obviously we're not getting that there down in the Carolinas where they may see a foot. Myrtle Beach may actually end up getting more snow from this one storm than the combined 2 weekend events that we've seen. That is crazy. Just for funsies. Not to intrude on Andrew Dockery's territory too much. Just showing you some of the modeling for down there. Nine to 10 inches, or 6 inches of snow, Myrtle Beach, just inland. At Conway, a half foot. Up towards Florence, 9 inches. So yeah, there's going to be some pretty prolific snowfall totals. The Smokies are going to get slammed by this one. You want to see a foot of fresh powder, head down to Gatlinburg this weekend. Johnson City may pick up a fresh foot from this. That is just going to be a very prolific storm. Show you how it kind of all evolves. So we get our snow coming in. This is tomorrow morning. That low starts forming off the coast of the Carolinas. We get that intense band just to our southeast. Now, if that comes just a hair farther west, right there along the Virginia border could get slammed. It heads up the east coast, and then we see that little lake effect band trying to come in on Saturday, while New England gets just absolutely rocked. European a little farther east, although GFS has shifted a bit east. So going to be an interesting one down in the Carolinas, that's for sure. We're not going to see. Yes, it is going to snow in Litchfield, Mom. They are probably going to get 4 or 5 inches down there, at least. Wild to think about. As far as our snow probability, pull that up here for eastern Kentucky. We're in that 80 to 90% range of at least 2 inches of snow in the orange. That brighter shade of blue is 60 to 70%. So this is probability of at least 2 inches of snow. Austin asking, do you think it'll be dry for Pikeville Monday morning? Austin, we may have a little upslope Monday morning. I'm not going to rule that out. Be a small chance. Kim, usually I stream after Eli goes to bed, so between 9 and 10 is when I usually get started. I usually post my video updates in that same window if I'm not going live. Yeah, Sandra, a lot of the roads here too are not cleared off yet. So we're about to go dumping fresh snow. There is at least a little bit of a break from the brutal cold. I got 40s on the GFS for highs Tuesday and Wednesday. Stephen, I wish I could just have a little influence on it, although if that were the case, I'd be locked in a lab under Langley, Virginia. But yeah, I'm ready for some spring weather after this. We're at least getting close to normal. We should be in the low to mid 40s this time of year for highs. We got a couple of 40s on there. Couple. That'll at least help with the melting on Tuesday and Wednesday. We might finally start getting everything thawed out. Nah, Leslie, let's not go 90 just yet. Let's not get too crazy. I'll take some 80s on the beach with a nice breeze. So once again, if you're just joining us, meteorologist Shane Smith here. We've been live now for a little over 20 minutes, talking about the snow for this weekend. This is not a big snow, but down in the mountains of eastern Kentucky, my old stomping grounds for my WYMT days, going to get a pretty good little hit out of this. Southern Pike County, most of Letcher County, Harlan County, Bell County, 3 to 6 inches, and even most of southeast Kentucky. I'm going to pick up 1 to 3 from this. That's why we have that winter weather advisory, which is going through Saturday around lunchtime in most locations. Cold weather advisories in effect for Saturday morning as well. Wind chill is going to be running 10 to 15 degrees below zero across a good chunk of the bluegrass. So once again, dealing with the cold, and not good for the folks still dealing with power outages. I know there's still a few renegade outages out there. Most of those in south central Kentucky. Still got about 400 outages in Pulaski County, 700 Monroe County, 1,000 Allen County. So most of that is over south central Kentucky, where the ice was just absolutely horrific. From like Somerset to Bowling Green, just got pelted with the freezing rain. Do have a little bit of snow showing up tonight on radar Omega. Going to take a little bit for this to start hitting the ground in most locations. Just taking a quick look at some of the behind the scenes data. Dew points running into the 20s right now, so we will probably have to moisten up that column just a little bit. The mid-levels look a little dry. Like dew point at the Harlan County Mesonet site right now is 5. Dorton is 6. So there's a lot of dry air that we're going to have to kind of work our way through before that snow starts hitting the ground. I think most of the snow should start falling in earnest probably tomorrow we'll say late morning, early afternoon. I'm going to pull the old model back up. Give me 1 second. Doing a little producing on the fly. When's it going to warm up and stay warm? That's a good question, Dwayne. I'm thinking it's going to be at least past Valentine's Day. I can tell you the pattern for the next 2 to 3 weeks looks to remain average or below. What are you thinking Knott County will get? Madison? I got most of Knott County in 1 to 3 inches. The southern end of that county, 3 to 6 inches. Certain groundhog better be considering its choices. Yeah. Good old Puxatawny feel. So if you're wondering, this is what the radar should be looking like 8 o'clock in the morning. So a little light snow starting to break out. Better chances come in the afternoon. I don't think it's going to be too incredibly heavy in the morning. So if you got to be out and about, just take it easy out there. And that will carry us through early Saturday, and then Saturday evening I think we'll see the old upslope machine kick back in. You want to see what that model is showing as far as snow. It only goes through 6 p.m. Saturday. There you go. That's the HRRR model. Man, that's going to be a big jump. Like, you're going to go probably 5 or 6 inches in Whitesburg over to Clintwood, where they're going to be pushing like 8. Wow, Whitesburg actually showing up 8.1 inches there. Harlan, 6 inches. Southern end of Perry County from my family and friends down there. Ew. Jeff, 4 inches. Slimp, 8 inches. So there you go. Grundy may pick up 8 inches from this. Wise is looking like about 8 inches. So yeah, it is going to be very wintry up in the higher elevations. Pineville, we can zoom in on it. Jason Hauer asking about that. Not really, Dwayne. Not going to see a warm up before this starts hitting, brother. Pineville, according to the HRRR model. See if we can get it. 3 inches, about 3 inches in RJ. Head down to Middlesboro and Harrogate, about 3 inches there as well. I'll believe it when it happens in Middlesboro. It's been the snow dome of southeastern Kentucky the last couple of years. Corbin picking up about 1 inch according to this model. 1.5 inches. London 1 inch. This is just one model's take, friends, so don't take that as gospel. Just this model tends to do pretty good in this range. I trust it fairly well. Hueysville. Like 5 inches hi-hat. Blue Moon 2, Betsy Lane to so yeah, you're gonna have quite the spread in Floyd County. You go like the northern end of the county up around Peaburg, may end up with like an inch. The southern end of the county, you may have 5 or 6 inches, maybe even a little bit more. Yeah, that was the HRRR model. That is a little bit more than what I'm forecasting, Anita. I don't know that we'll quite go that high. I went kind of a wide 3 to 6. I may have to tone that up. We'll see. Here is the forecast I put together right now. Any other questions? Ethel Turner reminding us it is 50 days till spring. I am ready for it. Pikeville, right on that 1 to 3, 3 to 6 line, Austin. I am going to be posting updates throughout the day tomorrow. Do have to do my day job though. We are teaching NTI day tomorrow. So I may try to post a little bit in the morning and a little bit after that. Oh. So once again, this is not a big storm. This is going to be one that definitely causes some problems down in far southeastern Kentucky, and I don't want to neglect y'all. Y'all been good to me through the years. I consider that home turf down there. I got a lot of interest down there, southern Perry County, a lot of family down there, a lot of family over in Harlan County. So I want to make sure y'all are taken care of, and a great church over in Cumberland that is very near and dear to us. So once again, if you're just joining us, this is the snow forecast for Kentucky. I'm meteorologist Shane Smith. I am based out of London. Forecast for Kentucky tend to focus on central and eastern Kentucky. I've been doing this now since 2008, so we're coming up on 20 years. This one does not feel as big or as complicated as last week. It's not to say it's not going to cause problems. Anytime you drop 3 to 6 inches of snow in the mountains of eastern Kentucky, it's going to cause some headaches. It's going to make it hard to get around for a couple of days. But I don't think we'll have the power outage issues. We definitely won't have the ice issues that we had with the last storm. I think this one is looking a lot tamer. Just for a small area, this is going to be kind of a moderate kind of impact storm. And then for a lot of eastern Kentucky, this is kind of a minor to moderate impact storm. What about Phelps? I've got Phelps up around the 3 to 6 inch line, I believe. Let me double check that real quick. Oh yeah, Phelps South, Eastern Pike County, 3 to 6 inches, probably on the higher end of that. James Casey. So 6 inches, may go a little bit more if that snow overperforms a little bit tomorrow night. Thank you to everybody that's joining us on YouTube and Facebook. I actually got more people on YouTube right now. That's a little bit unusual for me. Thank you all for joining us. This is your first time stopping by. Hit that subscribe button. Share it out. Let folks know what we're doing. I usually go live and cover big weather events here in central and eastern Kentucky on both YouTube and Facebook. So appreciate all the support. Ethel Turner's saying driveway still ice. Yes, there is still a ton of snow and ice there. And folks, if you haven't been out in a couple of days, before you go out, please, 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 please clean off the top of your cars. The ice has been horrendous flying off of them. I had to take Amanda up to Hazard on Tuesday for a procedure. We saw sheets of ice flying off cars. I've seen pictures of busted windshields. Sorry, it's a meteorologist brain. Busted windshields from the ice. Old habits die hard. We are going to have some dangerous wind chills Saturday morning. But yeah, the ice, just clean those top of those cars off if you haven't before you get going this weekend. And for folks wanting a break, we do have some warmer weather heading our way Tuesday and Wednesday. All right, folks. Well, we've been at it about 30 minutes. If we have no further questions, we'll go ahead and start wrapping this one up. Thank you all so much for joining us. I'll have updates throughout the day tomorrow on all the social media channels. You can see right there above me. It's pretty much S. Smith Weather. Smash that like button. Share button is great. Subscribe. Awesome. Follow on Facebook. All the social stuff. And try to post short form videos a couple of times each week on some of the more short form friendly channels, and then usually one or two big weather videos throughout the week. All right, friends, that's going to do it. I'm meteorologist Shane Smith. Take care. Stay weather aware. I'll catch